Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Jadiro coming at you with the Druid Drip and Slide build. Let's get right into it. The reason I call it Drip and Slide is because the build heavily plays around the core ability of the Druid, which is Landslide. And my Druid just looks absolutely dripped out right now with the Druid ones on with the sports mode activated. Looking sick. First things first, though, let's talk about the key aspect for this build. It's the Subterranean aspect. Subterranean aspect reads, Poison Creepers active also cast Landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 10% increased damage to poisoned enemies. So what that means is every time I cast Poison Creeper, it also activates Landslide. I put this on my weapon as it increases the percentage by 100%. The next aspect I'm going to talk about gives Trample a Landslide trigger. Another aspect is Earth skills deal 30% more damage to crowd-controlled enemies. And the last aspect I want to talk about here allows Landslide to proc twice on all its triggers. So whether that's Poison Creeper, Trample, or Landslide itself, all triggers happen twice. I'll show you guys a demo of this later. Next, let's talk about the defensive aspects. Aspect of Might grants you 20% damage reduction from your basic abilities. And the last defensive aspect I want to talk about grants you armor based on any form of damage you do. Armor reduces the physical damage you take. That's it for primary aspect and defensive aspects. Let's get into the primary skills and secondary skills next. For primary skills, we're going to go Storm Strike, then Enhanced Storm Strike, then we're going to go Fierce Storm Strike to apply Vulnerable. Next is our core skill, we're going to go Landslide. Then we're going to go Enhanced Landslide, and then we're going to go Primal Landslide. We're going Primal Landslide as a fundamental damage dealer for this build. Primal Landslide reads, when you immobilize or stun an enemy, you gain a TERRAMOTE. Each enemy hit by Landslide consumes a TERRAMOTE, causing a guaranteed critical strike of 40% critical strike damage. Bosses always have up to a 10% chance to grant TERRAMOTE when hit. So what that means is whether we're doing Poison Creeper, Trample, or Landslide, the ability itself, I'm getting these TERRAMOTE stacks. And when they pop, I'm getting a 40% increased critical strike damage proc. Also for single target damage on bosses, I always have a 10% chance to grant the TERRAMOTE when hit. So in the demonstration later, you're going to see all these abilities synergize together. Next, I go Earthen Bulwark. Then I go Enhanced Earthen Bulwark. And then I go Innate Earthen Bulwark. I go Earthen Bulwark strictly for survivability. Next, we're going to go Poison Creeper, then Enhanced Poison Creeper, and then we're going to go Brutal Poison Creeper. This is a great CC, and it also does a butt ton of damage with our primary aspect. Next, we go Trample, then we go Enhanced Trample, and then we go Natural Trample. For our ultimate, we go Cataclysm, then we go Prime Cataclysm, and then we go Supreme Cataclysm. Supreme Cataclysm applies vulnerable effects. And finally, for our key aspect, we go Nature's Fury. Nature's Fury reads, casting an Earth skill has a 30% chance to trigger a free Storm skill of the same category. Bonkers. In addition, casting a Storm skill has a 30% chance to trigger a free Earth skill of the same category. Nature's Fury is super synergistic with this build, especially when we're running a mix of Earth and Storm skills. That's primary, let's get into the secondary skills next. So I put one into Heart of the Wild, that's just to get us access to Abundance. I put a full 3 in Abundance, for Spirit Regeneration. Next we go Predatory Instinct, put a full 3 into this as we're in close quarter combat a lot of the time. Then I put a full 3 into Crushing Earth for increased damage by Earth skills. Then a full 3 in Safeguard for increased critical strike with Earth skills. And then a full 3 in Stone Guard for increased damage to Earth skills. Moving down, I put 1 point into Neurotoxin, and that's just to get us into Envenom. I put a full 3 in Envenom for increased critical strike damage to Poison Creeper. Next I put a full 3 into Defiance for increased damage to Elites. Then a full 3 into Natural Disaster for Earth skills to deal more damage to vulnerable enemies. And a full 3 into Nature's Magic for increased damage by nature skills. This also is tripled for Earth skills that are cast after a Storm skill. And then lastly, a full 3 into Circle of Life for a little bit of survivability with my nature skills. Alright guys, that's primary and secondary skills. Let's get into the Spirit Boons next. First we go Weariness for reduced damage from Elites by 10%. And then I Spirit Bind to the Eagle to give me 2 abilities in the same category. We go Scythe Talons for increased critical strike chance. And then Avian Wrath for increased critical strike damage. Moving down, we go Pack Leader, so this gives me the ability to reset my companion skills. And Poison Creeper is a companion skill. And the last Spirit Boon we go is Calm Before the Storm. This gives us the ability to reset the cooldown of our Cataclysm. That Spirit Boon's out of the way, let's get into the gems and the hearts next. So for Druids guys, always go Sapphires as you heavily play around Fortify, which overstacks your health. And as your health is overstacked, it increases your damage reduction. For weapon, always go two-handed weapons, especially for this build, but also go green gems. Green gems increase your damage to vulnerable enemies. That's gems, let's go into hearts next. So for my first heart, it's my Wrathful heart, and it cycles through Vicious, Devious, and Brutal. And as it cycles, it gives me a different buff for each. So every time I use 20 skills, it rotates through. For Vicious, I gain attack speed. For Devious, core and basic skills help me with resource management. And for Brutal, every 18 seconds, I gain a berry effect for survivability. Trust me, I'm looking for the barber, I just haven't found it yet. And for my Brutal heart, this is a must-have. You'll see everybody using this. So basically, it suppresses all damage by 20%. That's gems, that's Malignant Hearts. Let's get into the demonstration next. All right, guys, we're going to get into a demonstration of rotation, wave clear, and single target damage. All right, guys, so here's a rotation demonstration. Let me see if I can gather up everybody. Basically, how I'm going to start the build is I'm going to do Poison Creeper to immobilize them. Then I'm going to use Trample, and then that's pretty much it. I'm just going to be doing Storm Strike and Landslide afterwards. Here we go. So, boom. Mobilize, Trample, boom, Storm Strike, and Landslide as a follow-up. You really only need to use Cataclysm in dire situations where you're being overwhelmed. That's it. That's how simple the rotation demonstration is. Also keep your eye up for your Poison Creeper to be reset by your Spirit Boon, which is Pack Leader. Alright guys, here's a quick example of some wave clear. Poison Creeper again, Trample, Poison Creeper off proc, Cataclysm. Just melts, man. You guys are gonna run through World Tier 3 with this build. Alright, let's get into some single target damage here. So again, Poison Creeper, Trample, boom, Cataclysm. Yeah, this build absolutely just destroys. Wow. The Drip and Slide Druid build. So this is a quick demonstration of World Tier 4, guys, just to show you'll be able to safely push in World Tier 4 as well.
I'm not ready.
The build still does nutty damage, even in World Tier 4. 12 levels ahead of mine. Still gonna work. So that's just basic enemies. I got big pack here, guys. So this is for like everyone that's grinding like me and trying to get that ancestral gear going. They'll be able to safely push and wipe. Oh, World Tier 4. The grind continues. So that was rotation, wave clear, and single target damage. For anyone that's on the grind and thinking if this build can push through World Tier 4, it can. Let's get into the build summary next. For abilities, we're going Storm Strike, Landslide, Earthen Bulwark, Poison Creeper, Trample, and Cataclysm. Spirit Boons, we're going Weariness, we're going Scythe Talons, Avian Wrath, Pack Leader, and Calm Before the Storm. Gems, you guys can go back to the beginning of the video and I'll chapter it for you. Malignant Hearts, the same. For key aspect, it's the Poison Creeper Landslide aspect, guys. That's the one. Put on your weapon, you'll get the best bang for your buck out of putting it on your weapon. For the other primary and defensive aspects, you guys can go back to the video and watch it there. That's it for me, guys. I always love making videos like this, so turn on your notifications so every time I post a video, see it right away. I know this is a very popular build too, and a lot of content creators are doing the same thing, but this is the meta for Druid right now, and it's super strong. This is just my condensed version of the same build. So feel free to let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. The Druid Drip and Slide build. I'm your boy Jadiro, signing out. Peace!